Hey everyone, welcome to the video on Lumens. This is a continuation of the stream that I did yesterday. I've been following the price action pretty closely here. I'm going to be talking about a few things. But before I get started, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm here for your entertainment. And you're responsible for doing your own trades, managing your own risk, and doing your own research. And I'm just here to give my opinion on the market. So, with that, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So yesterday, we were paying attention to what the market geometry looked like here. Specifically, what we were paying attention to was this fib pull here. All right, so we're looking at about right there. We were also looking at a trend-based fib extension, marking from the top here to this retrace and to our reattempt up here. And we were outlining several things here on the charts. First thing that we were looking at was the 61.8% retrace, which was right here. And again, just for clarity, I was interested in this zone between the 123.6 and the 100. And if you're on the Discord, you know that I was making reference to the buy zone between 742 to 762. And if you were on the Discord, you know that I had buy orders sitting at 762. And I was, more than happy to, take whatever filled, whatever the market decided that it would be okay to bless me with. I took that trade. And we've got a little bit of profit so far. Nothing to write home about. Nothing too crazy. And it is very possible that we go back down into this zone. And, I'll talk about that here in a minute. Because we have had, on this daily candle, which really only has about an hour and a half left on it, this daily candle looks pretty good at a glance, but we still have an hour and a half. Anything can happen in 90 minutes. So, my interest in buying Lumens is still sitting there between 742 and 762, still having a stop loss somewhere around 710. Okay? But let's go down here to a 1 hour time frame, and I want to take a look at a couple things. All right, first, we had basically buy orders sitting at 762, and the price came all the way down here to what, like 759 or so. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. But let's take a look at our stochastics. All right, so we still have the 12-hour, the 3-hour, still down pretty low. The 3-hour has curled up, which is good. The 12-hour is still very much oversold. Very much oversold, the 12-hour. But, 12-hour is a much slower indicator. Look at the hourly. Look at the hourly. We had this bounce down here, right where we were expecting at least the first buy zone to be right down here at 762. We had a good reaction off of that. And right now our stochastics are basically overbought. So it really wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me one bit for us to do something like this. So we've come up here. It wouldn't surprise me one bit to do a little bit of this, to come back down here to about 775 or so, and then to finally turn back up. That wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me. What that would allow these stochastics to do would allow them to come down and then to curl back up. It gives it a little bit of time, a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of correcting, nothing to be too worried about. But it gives you that opportunity to, maybe take those bids that you had at 742 and 752 and, on a confirmed uptrend after maybe we'll call it a support resistance flip here at 785, one way or another, things are going to reset. Maybe a retest of the 21 exponential on the hourly. If I go to a 2-hour time frame, 2 hourly still has a little bit of room to go. The 3-hour, it's still trading under 50. So the 3-hour stochastic is still very low. The 12-hour stochastic is still under 20. So the 12-hour stochastic is sitting here right around like 12 or 13. So that's pretty good. Coming back down here for a retest around 790, it's very, very possible. Very possible for that to happen. And it wouldn't surprise me if it did. That's just the way markets move, and we have to be prepared for that. So if we go like this, and we go from the bottom there to the top here, we have our 236 here is 790. It's very possible for us to come down here to 780. It's very possible, if this is a wave 1 and we're going in for a wave 2, it's very possible for us to come just down to the 50. Typically we want to go a little deeper than the 382. So it'd be okay for this to come down to about 780, maybe 775. But this is my next area that I'm interested in buying. So I'm interested in buying here. And then what this means then is my stop loss is going to be somewhere in this zone over here. So of course my dollar cost average, if I were to go for my 762 entry and buy more at 775, my entry is probably going to be more like 768 to 770. So, I want to manage my risk appropriately, and I'm not condoning doing a dollar cost average as the price is going up. I'm simply saying, like, right now is decent risk versus reward. So for us to come back down here, we're still looking for more upside above 800. Right now, obviously, we are fighting at 800. I say fighting very loosely because we've only been there for like 2 hours. So it's not that it's not that we've got lots of attempts at 800 going on here. This is basically our first attempt, if we're being honest with each other. And for us to come down here for a retrace is going to be perfectly fine. And I am considering, and I'm not saying I'm doing this, but I'm considering selling here at 796 to 799 with a buy back down here at 775. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do that just quite yet. I may just go ahead and keep the position that I bought here at 762 and go ahead and just wait for the price to come back down here so that I can do another dollar cost average and buy a little bit more. But the other thing that a lot of people get confused with, and they tend to overthink, if you buy here at 762 and the price goes up, you automatically tend to think that it's just going to continue in that direction and it's not going to stop, and that's not true. Right, so we have corrective cycles, and we are basically in a moment where we are likely going to correct. Maybe we pop up here to 804, to this 55 exponential in the 2 hour. But more than likely, we are going to pull back, and that pullback is probably going to come to 775 to 780. That would be a good place to add a little bit more to your position, but I wouldn't go like all in or anything, right? Nor should you ever do something like that. When you have a good trade, don't mess it up by throwing in too much capital and screwing up your position and then getting too overly emotional. It would be okay to add a little bit to the position here, but still manage your risk and your trade, your position size, the way that makes most sense to you. I do think that we do have more upside in the future on Lumens. I'm still okay if we come down here to 742 to 752. Because that was really where the target was to begin with. But I'm going to be looking for the reaction down here at the 618. That's simply what I'm saying. So look for the reaction at the 618 and watch how things go. Because at the end of the day, we are looking at much, much higher targets. So if we're looking at this from a higher time frame perspective, we're still looking for another move up here to 942. And I believe we had talked yesterday about moves up to some much higher targets, like maybe 1100 or higher. So we do have some targets up there that we need to pay attention to. If this daily candle opens or really closes, if this daily candle closes green, like it currently is, basically if it closes anywhere above 790. I would say that we do have some continuation to the upside ahead of us, really to signify a bit of a reversal from that touch that we had here at the 618. So very possible for that to happen. Still, it's okay for there to be another push down here to this buy zone between 770 and 780. It's probably going to happen, to which I might consider buying more. I haven't decided if that's actually what I'm going to do yet. If you're in the Discord, I'll make sure to let everybody know. But otherwise, that's what my opinion is on Lumens. If anybody has any questions, pop in the Discord. I'd be more than happy to answer those for you. Otherwise, hopefully you all have a good day, night, wherever you are in the world.